Great morning, everyone. I'm going to tell y'all a short story, but before I do that, I'm going to talk about some defining moments. Now, y'all, some of y'all may have went through this. So, you hear the alarm clock go off, you hit the snooze. Some of y'all, you hit the snooze. Some of y'all hit the snooze and hit the snooze and hit the snooze, and then you finally get up, you're on the edge of the bed, you slouched over a little bit, and you just starting to think about life, like, this can't be my life. You know, I know there's more to it than this. And then that thing called time start to rush you out the door because you have to go. So this happens. It happens, I think, more on a Monday. That's just part of it. So the short story. I love this story. So this guy, he's traveling overseas, and he's going over there to the jungle and things like that. So he's over in the jungle, and he sees these exotic animals and everything, and everybody's excited. So the tour goes one direction, he goes another, and he gets a little bit lost, but he can still hear him. But he sees these parakeets up in the trees, and these are not the real, these are real talking parakeets, not no Polly-Wanna Cracker type parakeets. So they're having discussions and stuff like that, and they're talking back and forth. So the guy's looking around, and he actually puts one in his bag. So he puts it in his bag, and he gets through customs. He's back in the U.S. He's back there for a few months, and he's talking to the parakeet, telling him, hey, I'm about to go back over there to the jungle. And then the parakeet's like, wow, I would love to go. He said, well, if I took you, I might get caught. And the parakeet was like, well, you didn't get caught when you brought me here. He's like, yeah, but it's too risky. He said, anything you want me to tell your people over there? So the parakeet was like, yeah, tell them I love my life, I love my cage, and I'm eating good. He said, all right. So the man goes back over there. He's in the jungle. The tour goes to the left. He goes to the right, and he goes and finds a lot of the parakeets and starts talking to his cousins. And he says, hey, how's he doing over there? He said, hey, everything is fine. He said he wanted me to tell y'all something. He said, he loves his life. His cage is fine, and he's eating good. So everybody was like cheering and stuff like that. Even though he was gone, it was kind of sad. So one of his cousins started just shaking real bad. He started moving backwards and forwards, and then his cousin keeled over. He laid there, so he was like, man, I gotta tell him what happened. So he gets back to the U.S., and he's talking to him. He was like, man, tell me everything. Don't leave any details out. Parakeet is so excited. So the guy was like, well, I saw your family, and I told them everything you told me to tell them, exactly how you told me to tell them, and I got some bad news. He was like, well, go ahead, tell me what's going on. So he said, well, I told your family that life is good, you love your cage, and you're eating good. And after I told him that, your cousin died. And the parakeet was like, what? How could this happen? So what he did was, after he told him, the parakeet started shaking. He started pacing backwards and forwards, and he just died. So the man was like, I don't believe this, So he picked him up, took him out to the trash can, and put him in a trash can at the edge of the curb, and then he started walking back to the house. No soon as he started walking back to the house, the parakeet flew up into the tree because he heard the rustling noise, and the guy looked back and was like, oh my goodness, I thought you were dead. The parakeet was in the tree. He was like, no, I wasn't dead. He was like, well, what happened? He was like, well, my cousin sent me a message. And this is what I need y'all to understand. I need y'all to get this message. He said, my cousin sent me a message. He said, but what was the message? He told me that in order for me to live, I'm going to have to die. Family, a lot of us have gifts that we're not utilizing right now. We're sitting on the edge of the bed, looking at life in a whole nother perspective, and just like, this can't be my life. Well, it is your life because you haven't used the gifts that he gave you. when you decide, when you make the decision and commit to using the gifts that he gave you, then your life can be different. Get outside of the cage that you're in. Charles McCutcheon, y'all have a blessed day. Superman, stop playing. Y'all take it easy.